Hello. It is I, LaNée Javet, and the beautiful ladies of the Melanated Air. Look at this. We got a full house today. We got Melanated Air every Tuesday and Thursday, 2:00 p.m.-ish. Today we have Keisha Ravenell in the building at We Inspire Brand. Hey, Keisha.
Hey.
We have Miss Faye Bishop with us today. She's been MIA, but she's back. She's back. You can find Faye at Miss Faye Bishop. She may or may not make some announcements today. I don't know. We'll see how it plays out. You have Teddy Ewing at The Real Teddy Talks coming in from Egypt, looking beautiful.
Thanks.
And we have the one and only Madam President. Don't get it confused with the Z. At the number one, Madam President. If you are tuning in, please say hi, hello. Let us know if this is your first time. Have you tuned in before? Do you watch us on a regular basis? Today, we are talking about contracts. I don't know if you guys have seen the news, Black news that is, where Little Kim is being sued for $25,000 by a social influencer. And the reason why she's being sued, I guess, Little Kim did a post the first time for her. It's a waist trainer company, and it did good. So she went back and asked Little Kim to do another one. And 6 months later, Little Kim still had not done the post. Girl is out of $25,000. And so she's suing her for $75,000. And so today we're talking about the importance of contracts. I'm not going to say especially if you're a Black business owner, but as Black business owners, we need to be getting into contracts. So with that, we've set the stage. I've thrown it out there. Who wants to open this conversation for us today, ladies?
I would say I do want to start with how we just openly trust these celebrities just because they have a name and they're celebrities. So I wonder if she would have done the same thing with someone who wasn't a celebrity. You know, maybe she would have had her ducks in a row, but because Lil' Kim is just this big name and she used other celebrities as well. So I hope moving forward, she has contracts in place for them. But it's like, we can't just trust these celebrities just because they have this name. Like, you have to have contracts for your business. You have to protect your business.
Absolutely.
So hypothetically speaking, if she had a contract, should she not have sent it to Little Kim?
What do you mean?
So hypothetically,
she could have.
Okay, good. Okay.
And you know, even from a personal standpoint, me and Miss Keisha Ravenell were talking business a few months ago, and the first thing I did was send her an NDA just because we're talking business. We're talking proprietary information. Like, this is my girl, but we both run businesses. It's habit. So we have to build these habits that are going to make us better businessmen and women instead of just doing things all willy-nilly. It'll just help you in the long run, no matter what.
My question is, what kind of business was this? So that I can have an understanding, because I have an idea, but I don't want to go there, although I'm likely going to go there. Was this kind of like a
MLM? I think like a waist trainer MLM is what I'm assuming.
Oh, was it an MLM?
So it's not an M. So it's not a white label. She owns Wasted. I can forget the name of the company.
It's called No Waste Allowed.
No Waste Allowed. She's one of the first ones to come out with the wrap waist thing. She's making millions of dollars off of her company. Her company, she's making $1 million, I think she said, in less than 2 years. So $1 million, not an MLM, waistband company.
Yeah. Is it an Instagram business?
Probably so.
Probably.
Right. Well, this narrows my opinion on it. You know, you have everybody and their mother trying to start up a new business every day. And that's actually a wonderful thing. But this, and I have to go here again because I went here during the last time I was on the show about the importance of education. Okay. Starting a business is a great thing, but you need to make sure that you are educated about how business works so that your small business needs are met. There's no way around it. Take some sort of entrepreneurial course, because although it sounds like this woman is making tons and tons of money, and here we go with that hustle culture that I have to bring in, which is that let's get the bag. Let's just make sure we're generating this money at all costs, right? But when you don't, it's unfortunately most of the people who are doing this, especially these Instagram business owners and Instagram entrepreneurs, they don't understand the importance of proposals, pricing, the basics of accounting and contracts. And unfortunately, this is how situations such as what's going on with Little Kim happens.
Very true. Very true. Somebody asked, what is an NDA? Denise Kelly asked, what is an NDA? You must have said it, Teddy.
I did.
Do you want to say what it is?
It's a non-disclosure agreement, and it can range in variety, but it's basically saying that what we discuss in this business conversation, you cannot share with anyone else. So it stays between you, and it can go even one step further and say you cannot act on this information on your own personal interest.
Mm-hmm. So anytime you're sharing content, sharing information, running an idea by somebody, you may want to ask them, do they have a non-disclosure agreement, or is this conversation private? Yeah. Because people have heard people's ideas and content and ran away with them. So an NDA is appropriate often, a lot of times. So what kind of contracts do you guys have for your business, or what are some idea contracts? I have a list over here, but I want us to throw some out, some good contracts to have for your business, because a lot of times, let me back up before we get to that. An area that I have encountered, I would say one too many times, but it's like 10 too many times, 30 too many times, is Black businesses not having contracts in place. A lot of businesses that I do business with do not have contracts. And when I send them a contract, they're like, whoa, hold on a second. Like, do I have to sign this? Am I committed to this? And I'm watching my words. It doesn't make me mad. It doesn't upset me. It makes me worry for Black-owned businesses that we're not as familiar and comfortable with throwing out contracts as other cultures are. Why do you think that is? I'll start there before I go into what type of contracts are needed for business. Why do you think we don't use contracts in our businesses?
Well, reading, when you think contract, you automatically think legal terminology. A lot of people feel defeated. They don't have a level of awareness. But what Black people should keep in mind is that contracts can be very simplified. It does not have to have extensive legal terms for it to be valid. Mm-hmm. Write a sentence, name dates, and, possibly a witness if possible. I'm not here to give you legal advice because I'm not that, but it's like I had to come to terms too that, oh yeah, I can go ahead and submit this contract. You got to have discernment too, because sometimes when people are trying to work with you and you're just not even established, you're not really established. So you rolling out all these contracts and your company ain't made no money. Some folks gonna feel like, girl, or some people appreciate it, but it's just about like basically who you're rolling, like when you're rolling out certain things for certain things. I had to roll out a contract for myself, but I will say it took me a couple years of being in business. I started to roll out the contract that when I send over a t-shirt design, you cannot reprint this design without my permission or knowledge. Mm-hmm. And that took me a couple years, but guess how I got to that point?
I
saw a company reprint my t-shirt design without my consent. They was like, oh, these were some prints that didn't really work out, so I gave it to my cousins. Excuse me? Like that. And unfortunately, guess what? It was a Black-owned business that did that. Mm. So here I was trying to determine and decide if I wanted to work with this company again. But I learned something. It was a teachable moment. And I really, to be honest with you, my personality type, it may be, very verbal and vocal, but I'm not a big confrontational person. So conflict sometimes does not make me feel good. So I had to determine, like, how do I want to proceed with this? That's why I know, some people have other people to do their dirty work for them because they don't.
I was about to say, hold on, Madam President. I was literally, you made a good point. Do you think that people don't present contracts because they think it's going to be a conflict? If I slide you this contract, maybe you won't do work with me.
Absolutely. I do believe
you shouldn't do work with them.
But
right, exactly.
But I do believe it comes from a level of, I say, business maturity. When you get to a place and you're able to walk away from people who don't understand contracts and people you want to work with, and you just kind of okay with not working with them, it comes with maturity. And it also comes in believing in yourself and your business. If you believe in yourself and your business, then hey, guess what? You'll be okay with walking away. And here's what I love. You'll be okay with walking away from big people in big moments. But if you feeling real timid and like this is your last and only opportunity that somebody gonna give you, you're gonna be sitting up there signing bad contracts like rappers and 360 deals all the time.
That's a word. Sometimes contracts aren't good.
Yeah.
So, sometimes that could be another reason why people don't take the time to put a contract in place. But when we're talking about business, it's almost imperative. I do 6-month contracts on my coaching. It protects me if somebody decides that they don't want to do it, or this is what I thought I was going to get. Oh, we had that Karen Silver conversation not long ago. Contracts are there to protect both parties. It's there to protect you, so you know what to expect. You know what you're going to get. You know what the outcome is. It's there to protect me so that I make sure I communicate what you're going to get, what my level of involvement is. Contracts are there for both parties, and then you don't end up in a situation where you're out $25,000 because she paid it in cash. She paid $25,000 in cash, which means there's no record of it.
You can't track that. You can't track. And I want to go back to what Madam President said in the video. It stated, an attorney stated that the contract can be simple. So I know Madam President said, I'm not an attorney, so I can't give you that advice. But there was an attorney in the video that stated that same thing. Even a text message can, and I'm not saying use text messages for your business, people. Do not do that. But I am saying when you have a text message, that is still proof that something was said, that there was an exchange and could be held, right, in the court of law. I'm not an attorney. I have to put that out there, like Madam President, but it can be as simple as this is what it is. I do have a contract in place for my clients, and it is very simple. I say, this is the 8 weeks that I'm going to be working with you. These are the things that we are going to go over. In order to protect them, I let them know I don't have any right to your design and your business, and I feel that helps them to also trust me and my business because they're hiring me. So I always tell them, review the contract. Let me know if you have questions. We can review it before you sign it. So you have to put these contracts in place, people.
And you know what could have happened too? If Little Kim's people had invoiced her, then she could have paid the invoice for what she was going to do. You know what I'm saying? Like that could have even without having a contract in place, that at least could have been some documentation on both ends to say, but you know what? There's probably some tax evasion involved with the recipient side. Because if you don't have a contract, somebody's just sending you money. Like, how do you have to claim it? Like, what do you have to claim as income? Do you have to claim it as a gift? So that may be part of the shiestiness going on. Now, I don't know. I'm just saying that there has to be a motive for someone to take money from people without the intention on returning service and not care what it looks like in the media or, on social media.
I'm glad you said that because there was a reason. In the video, it said that she didn't like how she was being represented. So the owner of the company went down there and shot the video. Little Kim's people didn't post it. It's 6 months later. She doesn't have that, whatever it is that she was selling anymore. And the reason why it took so long is, I guess she had different meetings, this and the other. And then finally they said, well, she's just not happy with how she looks. And so the owner said, I'll come back out there and reshoot it. Like if she doesn't like her face, if she doesn't like how she looks, I'll come out there and reshoot it. And they were like, well, she's busy. She has this, she has this. And so it drug on so long before she could get out there to reshoot it that now it's not even appropriate. Like now there's no point. So she's lost the money and she's lost the time. But because there was no contract in place that said, what happens if you don't shoot it, if you don't post it, if I don't get a return, there was nothing that says what comes next or the plan B. And so that's what is the issue. And I'm not a lawyer, but I will tell you this. I took a little law class in my MBA. And what I will tell you is one of the reasons why I think we're afraid of contracts is because we're afraid of the law, right? From a legality standpoint, police standpoint. But there's so much to law that we need to know and understand. For example, the difference between what's a legal law versus a policy. So you got most of you guys have shopped at Nordstrom's before, right? And Nordstrom's has this store policy that you can bring anything back. It doesn't matter when you bought it. You can bring it back 2 years. You can bring it back 3 years. You can bring it back 4 years, 5 years. You can bring it back to Nordstrom's. That's not a policy. That's a law. That's a legit law. There is a law, and I got my MBA in 2011, which is over 10 years ago. So bear with me when I state this. It's called it's a law around a service of goods. If you purchase a good and it no longer meets that service, that organization has to take it back. So that policy that Nordstrom has is technically a law that can be applied at any business. We don't know that because we don't know the law. There's a lot of different loopholes and things like that happen that we just don't understand and we don't know. That if we actually took the time to understand the law, whether it's in our business or with the way we do business with other people, we would do better. I have gone up against many businesses now that I have a better understanding of the law. Collectors, this karate company that was trying to come after me, I was like, hold on. The law says, and they were like, oh, sorry, ma'am. Hell yeah, you are. But we as Black people have to have a better understanding of law and contracts and reading these things because we get taken advantage of all the time. We don't even know they were being taken advantage of because we don't understand the law.
Yeah.
And that's why doing the education, if I may quote Kanye West, is so important. You ain't doing the education. You got to do the education. I implore everybody. Taking a course of some kind is all about your entrepreneurial development, and understanding how business works is so important. You have to take a course of some kind. It's a beautiful thing to start a business. It's an even better thing to start a business and know what it is you're doing and understand how everything is done so that your small business needs are met. Again, from proposals and pricing to the basics of accounting and contracts. Taking a course is instrumental, not only on you becoming more informed, but on how it's like designed to keep you and your team with the tools it needs to give you a competitive advantage too. And it increases your chances of success. This is so important. I am actually floored sitting here listening to the fact that she paid in cash. God knows how that was done. Was it wired? We know Cash App is not going to let you send that kind of money. Was it PayPal? And it sounds like there was no type of agreement in place, not even the counter marketing kind of partnership agreement, which is standard when you are running a business and you're paying some sort of an influencer. To my understanding, it's kind of like you're collaborating, usually with those contracts, you're collaborating on the messaging, the content production, the visibility, the distribution, the items or products or services that is being provided, the interest of that, for them to not even have that much in play. And a lot of those kinds of contracts, believe it or not, even take place via DM, for a lot of businesses. So for them to have none of that in place, it's reckless. If I'm being
Michelle's asking in the comments, what is the time to present contracts like when or where when selling products? So I think that in my business, I definitely present the contract when you want to seal the deal. So if you have a verbal agreement on something and you want to make it official, then you present the contract. Employment contract, partnership, you're going to work with someone as a customer, freelancer, consulting, whatever it is. Once you want to seal the deal, that's when you present the contract. And you shouldn't do any work until that happens. Not anything that you would charge for until that contract is signed by both parties.
And Faye, you said an important word, and that was team. So you also have to build your team. Don't feel like you have to do everything on your own. And when you have that team of professionals, you can go to that team. You can go to someone on your team and say, hey, what is this? you have a question about, you have a law question, you can ask the attorney on your team. You have a financial question, you can ask your financial advisor. You have a tax question, you can ask your tax preparer. So have these people that know what they're doing, that are professionals in their industry on your team. So start building that team for your business.
Yeah.
And don't be so reckless in your behavior, because this is, I'm sorry, on the part of even Kim, as well as this business owner, it just seems like a lot of reckless behavior took place here in terms of just the professionalism. No contract, paying in cash. It also sounds like the communication was very like foggy or whatever. Try not to do that when it comes to your business. Make sure you make a list in addition to signing a contract of key terms. Make sure that's outlined in your contract. Share them with the other party. Make sure you have a discussion before anything gets signed, so that it doesn't need to be formal or fancy, but just some basic outline terms so that you don't have screw up even the smallest things where it comes down to your business, and basically having the client or the person that you're paying adhere to the terms.
Two things went wrong with this one though. Was she had worked with her before and it was successful. And the second thing was it's a celebrity. So she's probably trying to give her some room. And she's so glad to be working with her. And because the first, deal they had went so well, she was giving Lil' Kim leeway, and it backfired on her. So again, back to that. That's why you have to have a contract. At least you have that to fall back on. And you could at least say, if I don't have X, Y, and Z by this date, then there's going to be a problem. And you can follow up, and I have my contract to back me up. So
I just want to make this quick point. I believe that a lot of these Instagram businesses, as Faye calls it, they think business is just about making money. That's the issue. They don't understand that there's so much more that goes into a business. It's not just about you making a profit. And that's what it seems like it was with this young lady, because she became successful very quickly. She said within 13 months, she had over $1 million. So it goes back to, of course, the education, but she's probably thinking, oh, hey, I'm making money, so I'm doing well in my business. My business is successful, but you're going to run yourself out of business if you don't have those contracts in place, because you're going to be paying people out and you're not going to be getting that money back, and you're not going to be getting anything in return.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? You guys brought up some good points. Number one, $25,000. That means she paid it all up front. All up front, cash, no contract. Like, there should have been a deposit. I'll give you half. I'll give you the other half.
Right.
That's on the business owner side. But something Faye said, I was like, you know what? Lil' Kim's people should have had a contract.
That's
so
exactly.
The business owner didn't have one. Kim should have had a contract in place for herself. So that makes the question, well, what kind of business is she running? Okay.
Hot mess one.
My president ain't gonna tell us, but I'm just saying, you have to then ask, well, what kind of business is she running? Because she
ghetto. Nene Leakes said it best. The ghetto. Stop this reckless behavior. I love my people. I love the fact that we're starting businesses and becoming entrepreneurs, but we really got to do the education. It's part of the package.
Also, too, I mean, some of these young women have to really think about, what is waist training promoting? I'm sorry to pivot this, but, if you want Lil' Kim, who is hot, heavy in plastic surgery, to wear your product for waist training, I'm not even sure if you've even done the proper research on what this product is offering. Folks ain't gonna get this product and be snatched like Lil' Kim, because that's plastic surgery. That ain't even waist training.
That is social media. That is celebrity. They don't care. I see so many women in Atlanta. I'm gonna pick on Atlanta, not you, Madam President, but I'm picking on Atlanta. I was watching these shows. I told you I was watching Ready to Love all the seasons. These women got thickums, everything, but that stomach flat. I'm like, well, damn.
Right. Maybe
You can buy a flat stomach, Teddy.
right. One day I'm gonna come up in here with a flat stomach, but it will not be some purchase, okay? I am not concerned. The one thing I just always, this is my true sentiment with us Black women. I don't know when society has convinced you what is, attached to your behind is more important than your mind. I don't know when that happened. And then not to mention, like, the Black women are going through these extreme measures. I'm sorry, but my grandmother then was about like, you don't go under no knife unless you're trying to get your life saved. Yeah. What you doing? Doctors just cutting up on you. We don't know nothing about that. Y'all stop. Leave that stuff alone.
Listen, I don't know if you guys are aware, but there's this new show on Lifetime called My Killer Body with K. Michelle. And they speak about the dangers of the plastic surgery. So there's these women that have these botched surgeries. I just did a video on it because my mind was blown. I was just like, oh my God, this is the world that we're living in. They're going under, the knife. Like Madam President said, they're getting these surgeries for likes on social media. It's like they're dying, literally dying for likes. They need this attention. They're craving this attention. It's just like, baby, what are you doing? What are you doing? This is the world that we're living in. So we're talking about the waist trainer and listen, this is what's getting the
light. We need to do a show about that. We need to do a separate topic.
I actually had a great idea.
I want to bring it back.
I'm finding that the waist trainers are mostly
hold on. I see in the comments that we have questions, and I want to get to those questions because our show is kind of tight today. So I want to make sure that we definitely get to these two questions that are in the chat. So the first one is from All Things Blue, who says, I just got my LLC approved and I really want to freshen up on some information. Can you all recommend a good entrepreneur course I can take?
Absolutely, darling.
My first question is, what kind of
one, they're offered online for free. There are tons of webinars you could take, from product design and development, crafting a business plan. There's another one, business strategies, how to build a startup. Honey, the wonderful world of Google is your friend. Yeah. And a lot of these courses you can take for free. And there are also a lot of colleges that offer these courses as well. So if you have any local schools that are in your city or local area, and you feel as though that you probably feel more comfortable in a classroom setting, although in these COVID times, everything is online, definitely look into what courses they're offering. But I know for a fact that crafting a business plan, leadership and influence, as well as the courses on how to build a startup, they're offered online, as well as like understanding like entrepreneurship development. All of those courses are online.
Yeah, I would ask you what type of business you're starting, because depending on the type of business you're starting, there are specific classes to that. So if you're, for example, if you're starting a t-shirt company, Keisha has a course on entrepreneurship relative to a t-shirt company. I think Teddy does exit strategy and crypto.
And I have a Start Your Business with Confidence course as well. So it'll teach you how to start any business, but basically like online business, courses, course creation, etc.
And I give SEO tips. Everyone knows I'm the SEO queen over here. I mean, when it comes to doing everything online, that's easy. That's actually the easy part.
So you want to
once you learn how the algorithms work.
You want to get clear on your end result or what it is that you want to do, and that will help you figure out a class. The other thing is, I come from the school of Google and YouTube. And when you're getting started, those are great places to start because you're going to get a lot of free content, a lot of free information. But I will tell you that there's nothing like a paid course. There's nothing like a paid course. People give everything away for free except for the most valuable stuff, which is what you have to pay for. So if you have the funds, invest in yourself and invest in your business. If you don't, and you're just getting started, definitely the Google University or YouTube University. But if you have it to invest and make that investment in yourself, so you get a different level of education from entrepreneur standpoint. Okay.
Absolutely.
Yep.
All right. And then the next question is from Michelle. Was it Michelle?
Michelle,
Yes, Michelle. I have a website. Will I need to release contracts on every product, like in the product description on the site, or where for them to sign? Oh, yeah. I think I'm a little confused, to be honest. I will also talk to my team about this. Thank you for all the you ladies' help. I'm so sorry. I'm literally reading how it says. I didn't realize the seriousness of the situation. I will also take an entrepreneur course. I will like to attend many more business conferences.
Yeah.
So the question was, do you need to have
a contract for each product?
No, you would. So if you're talking about websites, you're going to do probably like a privacy. I think there's a terms and there's one for terms
and conditions.
There's one for privacy, and it's general, not general, but it applies to everything that's on your website.
Right. And disclaimer. So your website disclaimer, terms and conditions, and your privacy policy.
Most every website has that on the bottom. So if you have those three, you should be covered.
I actually have a course that gives you all of that. So, and it's cheap. I mean, it's really cheap. It is, because it's like you can find it online, but not in a comprehensive, downloadable, fillable template. So I got that for you. Petty Talks Academy on Teachable.
All right. So I interrupted. I think it was you, Faye. What were you getting ready to say?
Oh Lord, I done forgot. But I think I was gonna make because we got into the classes and I completely missed my point. But I think it was in reference, if I'm not mistaken, spin off of what Keisha said about the waist trainers, or was that Madam President? I noticed when it comes to these beauty products, which I guess I would put the waist trainers in that category. I noticed that things like waist trainers, flat tummy tees, and so on and so forth tend to be something that is offered by Instagram businesses only. It's not something you technically walk into a retail store and you're going to find. You're going to get it on a rack. It's going to be there. It's going to be sitting there. I'm going to tell you and share a secret about all that. You got to be careful when you purchase these items from those Instagram businesses as well, because a lot of these Instagram businesses, and I hate to be putting the secret out there, those who own them don't know much about the waist training business. In fact, most of these Instagram boutiques are owned by women who do not sew, nor have they never taken a design class. Right. They are getting these products from Chinese wholesalers overseas. That's the secret.
Yeah.
If you wanted to know, they don't sew, they don't understand measurements, they don't understand any of that. And that's one of the things that stuck out to me too, when she said Little Kim didn't like the way she looked. I believe maybe that too, it probably was part of the problem. Most of the women who use those waist trainers don't like the way they look. They don't, so they're trying to Photoshop everything. They're using filters because they don't understand the product. They don't even know what the product is. The reason why that the product is popular is because it's trendy.
You know what? I wonder if she takes her to court, small claims court, or whatever it's going to be. I don't know if that's over the cap for small claims, but Little Kim might say, she came, she did the shoot, I put it on, I did my part, and I didn't like the product. So she may not even win in court because she didn't have any terms and conditions of the arrangement. So if Little Kim actually presented herself, was there for a shoot, and did all that, that might be worth $25,000 Little Kim's time without doing the post. So you're gonna have a hard time proving what the terms were when they didn't exist beforehand, unless you got text messages.
And all Little Kim, back to what I said, has to say is I didn't like the fit or the cut of the waist trainer. And now the business owner has to literally sit there and kind of out herself because she didn't sew it. She didn't put it together. She didn't design it to fit Little Kim's measurements. It came in small, medium, large, or X large, or 2XL. And Little Kim threw it on, didn't like it, and she didn't have anything that could supply it or to exchange it. In other words, Little Kim may be small, and she only had medium. So all of that would have to be explained. But this is a secret that a lot of people don't know when it comes to a lot of these Instagram boutiques that particularly sell products such as waist trainers, flat tummy tees. They have no education about any of this stuff. They did not sew it. These aren't products that they set in the kitchen and made up themselves. They're getting them from Chinese wholesalers. So be careful with that.
That's yeah. We go back to contracts. A lot of this could have been avoided with a lot of this could have been avoided with the contract. When you go to court, the person who has the most paper wins. Whoever has a paper trail wins. Mm-hmm. So if there had been a contract, that exactly what you guys said should have been discussed, because if I paid you $25,000, I don't care if you don't like how it looks. You posted. I paid you for a post. I didn't pay you to like it. I didn't pay you to have it try it on and make it look good. I paid you to post it. And if that was not properly communicated, then again, still problems on both sides, but contracts, communication. Little Kim needed to know what she was being paid for, which is a post.
Mm-hmm.
Not.
And if Lil Kim didn't, I think that also goes back to Lil Kim having a contract in place, because Lil Kim is a brand. So she's not going to want to post something where she doesn't feel comfortable, where she doesn't feel good, because that's going to ruin her brand.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay, but Michelle, I see. Go ahead.
No, I just was going to say that. I just want to say, I took a guy to court one time in college. We did not have a contract, and verbal agreements matter. But sometimes I think the legality of it all is expensive. A lot of people just don't have the time or the finances to deal with court. Like, even, it's like, is this girl in New York? Is she in Georgia? Is she in California? She'd be traveling back to New York to take Kim to New York if that's her home state. So, it's a thing. I don't know all of that stuff, but verbal agreements matter, people. So don't be going around telling people yes and you really mean no, or you don't really know. And then, not to mention too, that's the point that I wanted to make, LaNée, that verbal agreements do matter for our business people who feel like, well, a contract wasn't in place. That's not your defense mechanism when you come to an agreement and you don't fulfill an obligation, because that is important. So one thing that we have to keep in mind that people don't talk about is ethics. Keep your business ethical at all times. Yeah. You don't have to be a multimillionaire to run a business off ethics, but it should definitely be a common practice.
Absolutely. And you know what? I'll tell you this. If you are out at lunch and you make an agreement and you get a piece of napkin and you write that agreement out on the napkin, that's considered, I forget the name of it because I told you I took this law class years ago, but that's a binding contract. It's called a particular contract. I can't think of the name of it, but it is a binding contract. So if somebody were to go to court and they showed this and it shows what was agreed to in both signatures, that could be held up in court. Like a contract that it's not complicated. This is what you agreed to. This is what I agreed to. This is how it's going to play out. You sign, I sign, we're good. But in business, to your point, I recommend this to all my clients. I do not recommend LegalZoom just because they take a lot of your money and they don't really do anything. But I swear by Rocket Lawyer. I love me some Rocket Lawyer. So if you are a business owner and you don't actually have a legal team yet, or you don't have a lawyer on retainer yet, but you want to protect your business, Rocket Lawyer is amazing. They have NDAs, they have leases, almost literally every type of a legal document that you could think of, they have on Rocket Lawyer. And you can adjust it based on your city, your state. It's customizable. If you do not have legal counsel, but you want to be protected, check out Rocket Lawyer. I use it for a lot of my contracts. Like, I'll pull the contract down and then I'll adjust it to be what I need it to be, upload it to my Hello sign, and it's all a part of my process when I onboard clients now. But there is a platform, a tool, a resource for you to be protected. Okay. Michelle, I saw your question for Teddy. Teddy, oh wait, hold on. Teddy, what is the website? I need it.
It is teddy-talks-academy.teachable.com, or just hit me on the gram. I will reply to you and send you the link. The Real Teddy Talks on Instagram, and I will send it directly to you.
Hey, Tracy, I did get your message. I'll respond to you shortly. Tracy said, great show and topic, ladies. How can you prove a verbal agreement in court? Now, let me give a disclaimer. We are not legal professionals. Allegedly. I'm just kidding.
Allegedly.
I make sure I put a disclaimer out there so y'all don't be like, well, I learned on the Melanated Air you do this. No, legal professionals. We are giving you information based on our experiences, since we do not have a lawyer amongst us. Okay. So for that in particular question, I'm definitely going to say to talk to a lawyer, because I can give you what I might do, but that doesn't mean it's right. That doesn't mean it's legal. So to Madam President's point, yes, verbal agreements are legal and you can prove them in court, but I would say to do research or talk to a real legal professional to get the exact, precise, right answer. In case something like that were to happen, you can protect yourself.
And in this day and age, you just don't need it. I mean, unless it's a really urgent situation needs to be taken care of, where you have to do some kind of service in kind on the spot, send a text message. Like do something where you get a reply. You send it, you get a reply, boom, it's done. So you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, I was just about to say, to aid in your enforcement of a verbal agreement, it is best to have some form of written communication, letters, emails, texts, faxes, DMs. Yes, those kinds of things hold up in court. Notes, another way to get help to prove a verbal agreement is by getting witnesses who were present at the time of the agreement. That works in your favor. So to adhere to that.
Paper trail, digital paper trail, doesn't matter. As long as paper trail, we can look it up. Somebody said.
Can I just mention that, I can't speak for all the ladies, but I am not perfect as a business owner. So when I first started coaching people, I didn't have a contract in place. Like, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like, I didn't have a contract in place. And there was a situation where one of my clients, she paid an installment. So my installment prices over time, you pay more than if you pay a one-time payment. So her last payment came out and she hit me up like, whoa, you charged me, you overcharged me. And I was just like, well, no, I didn't overcharge you. This was, this is the amount if you pay an installment. And we went over that in the initial call, but you forget, right? So she's just like, no, I didn't know this. I didn't have a contract at the time. What I did have was the checkout page. So that was good. I said, well, this is the checkout page that you went through and that's what happened. But I said, you know what, moving forward, I need to have a contract in place that lays it out clearly. This is what you pay when you pay an installment. This is what you pay when it's a one-time fee. So like, it's just so important, because then me as a business owner, I felt bad. I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't want her to think that I'm taking advantage of her. Like, so it just really protects everybody, guys. Like, have those contracts in place.
Yeah.
Yes. I had and let me say, to Teacher's point, the majority of people who start out don't have contracts. Like, a lot of people don't have contracts. It's one of those things that you learn as you go and you grow and you add them, or you have a situation. I had a client, I had a contract. How about this? So I had a contract. I charge my clients per month. And it's 2 hours, whether you do 1 2-hour session or 2 1-hour sessions. And so she missed her 2-hour sessions 1 month, and she was like, I'm just going to roll them over. And I was like, just roll them over. Hold on a second.
Did we say we was going to do that?
And I'm looking for a contract like this. That specifically wasn't in the contract, like specifically saying that you could not roll over hours.
Yep.
I said that I could cancel. I said that you can make up hours, but I did not specifically say that you could not roll them over. So I didn't technically have a leg to stand on, but you bet your bottom dollar that shit is in my contracts today. You cannot roll hours over. She ended up with like 6 hours. So even after her contract was done, I still had to give her 6 hours of time to share rolls them over. And I was like, oh, never again.
Kind like the phone company. Like, just because they didn't say it don't mean you can do it. Then minutes is over at the end of the month. They don't roll over.
If I can give a shiny example of a contract that we actually don't pay attention to signing, it is that of social media. You sign a contract when you sign up. That's why when people complain about free speech and all of that, while that may be true, what were the terms and conditions on this platform when you signed up? That's why they can cut your mic, they can cut your account, they can suspend your account, put you in Facebook jail, and do whatever it is, even if they don't like what it is you're saying. It's because of that contract you signed when you signed onto the platform.
I want to know in the comments who actually read the terms and conditions when they signed up for social media. Like, drop it in the comments. Like, I want to.
You don't want to read it because you get to realize how much power they have over your stuff. And you like, well, either I'm going to be on here or I'm not. Like, there's no in between. You go click the box and download, or you're not.
Right.
And I know part of that agreement is actually photos, which is why I am extra careful when it comes to posting photos, most particularly of my son.
Absolutely.
Because once you post them, part of the terms and conditions, I know particularly for Facebook and Instagram, is once you upload a photograph, it no longer belongs to you. It's theirs. Yeah. They can do what they want with it. They can use it however they want, et cetera, et cetera. So you have to be careful.
Absolutely. I never show my kids. People are like, why are you hiding your kids? I'm like, they have identities that don't need to be on social media. Let them do that when they get older.
I post 1 or 2 pictures of my son per year. I don't play that.
Yeah.
And I learned that from an IT guy. That's the thing with me. My recklessness with not reading a contract, which is why they're so important. An IT guy actually told me that. At a company I worked for, that's 17 years ago. This was when MySpace was still popping off. So they don't belong to you because he never put his kids up there ever.
As Teddy would say, it belongs to Al Gore's internet.
Right. I have a question. So we have children signing up for social media. Is it legal for them to sign these contracts? And
there's an age requirement. So if they're
13.
checking the box, they're saying they're over 16 or 18. I don't remember what it is.
13.
Is it 13?
13.
Okay. Yeah.
You gotta look at all the kids on TikTok.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, so that's legal, like, to have a contract with a 13-year-old?
They're
they
assuming
they put it in their
parents
terms
are
and
there.
conditions.
Allegedly,
parents need to be watching their phone. Yeah. Yeah.
I guess that's another story for another day, but geez.
Yeah.
Oh, today was good though, y'all. Today was good.
Yes.
First of all, I just got to give a shout out to my beautiful co-hosts. All of y'all was in the building today. I can't remember the last time everybody was in the building at one time.
Definitely 2021.
Huh?
I said definitely 2021.
Everybody
listen, COVID. I had a COVID issue, so I got sick. That's why I have not been around. That's my announcement. COVID,
we're happy to have you.
For almost 2.5 weeks, folks.
We're glad to have you back, Faye.
Yes, I'm glad to be back.
So today was a good talk. I hope that everybody out there that has tuned in has taken it to heart. You are a Black person. You are a Black entrepreneur. You're a Black-owned business. We need to operate with excellence, Black excellence. And that comes from having contracts. Protect yourself, protect your money, protect your assets, protect your business. And you do that with contracts. Communicate with what your expectations are of your clients and customers, but also what they can expect from you. Think about how your deposits are. Don't be out here paying $25,000 for stuff and with nothing in return. Deposits are good. We have to think better. So we're gonna go around the room. I need quick final thoughts before we sign off. Oh, before we do final thoughts, please make sure you go and like and support all my co-hosts. You see them up here looking beautiful. You see their handles are right there. You can catch Keisha Ravenell at We Inspire Brand. You can go find Faye Bishop at Miss Faye Bishop. You can check out Teddy Ewing at The Real Teddy Talks. Madam President at One Madam President with a Z. And you can find me at I Am LaNée Javet. We do Melanated Air every Tuesday and Thursday at 2:00 p.m.-ish. And you can go follow us on Melanated Air on YouTube and all the social media platforms. Okay, go around the room for our final thought before we let our audience go.
Well, I would like to say that don't let not being contract savvy or business savvy discourage you from having a business. You can learn everything that you can learn that you need to learn to have a successful business in time. I have lost thousands of dollars over time because of what I didn't know. But guess what? It is trial and error in business. And don't ever think that you're going to know it all. It is going to require some trial and error. It's going to require you being a part of it for things to go the way it's supposed to go. So I say be encouraged, and please, there are never too many businesses. Do not give up on yours.
I like that.
Yeah.
Businesses are legal. There are arrangements. There are agreements. Even to incorporate your business, there are agreements you have to sign, your operating agreement, partnership agreement, whatever it is. Don't shy away from it, because you are valuable. Your mind is valuable. Your business is valuable. Do what you got to do to get there and learn along the way. Don't beat yourself up, but when you know better, you do better.
Come on now. Come on now.
Yes.
And to piggyback off that, do the education. I gotta quote my boy Kanye. I know everybody else don't like him, but I love him. Do the education. Take a course. A lot of times we don't know, but don't fear what you don't know, and don't be afraid to ask for help. And in addition to taking courses, it's good to have a business mentor.
Yes.
Someone you can go to for advice, ask questions, and they maybe can coach you, give you coaching, continuous coaching on how to make the better decisions in terms of your entrepreneurial development. So do the education, people.
Absolutely.
Yes. And I'll just like to say business is more than just making money and making a profit. You have to have your team. You have to have certain things in place in order for you to grow. So make sure you're running a business and building a business, and it's not just a hobby.
Yeah. Everything they said, true. I was just right. Literally everything that they said. We love you. We thank you. We appreciate you for tuning in today. We hope that you got something out of this conversation. I saw a lot of thank you so much, and I didn't think about it this way. And this is substantial information. We hope that you guys appreciate the content and the information that we come and bring to you each week. Today is Thursday, so that's our 2 sessions for this week. So we will see you guys next week on Tuesday, Unmelanated Air, 2:00 p.m. ish. But you can find us on each of our individual platforms every day of the week. Go check us out. Go follow us. As always, continue to be blessed, stay black, and be one. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye, y'all.